So I know that I'm about a month too late on this movie, but I finally got around to checking out K-pop Demon Hunter. The reason why I haven't been able to check this movie out is because I'm not really the biggest fan when it comes down to K-pop or anime. Mix those two in, I'm definitely not going to be there day one. But this movie has been spreading like wildfire, so I decided to go ahead and give it a shot because I like to give a movie a shot, even if it's not really geared towards me, and I'll probably be pleasantly surprised. And boy, was I pleasantly surprised by this movie. Now, this movie is made by Sony Animations, but was bought by Netflix, and they have been a iffy track record as of late. Over the past couple of years, it feels like they really haven't been putting a lot of faith in their animated films. They made Mitchells vs. the Machines, which was bought by Netflix as well, but those were under different circumstances where that movie was supposed to be released during the pandemic. Netflix bought it and put it on their streaming service, and I think they need to have a little bit more faith when it comes down to their animated movies, because even though they are kicking so much ass when it comes to the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movies, they could have had a really big hit when it comes down to K-pop Demon Hunter, and it could have been the next Spider-Verse. The film follows a K-pop group that are trying to balance their lives in the spotlights with their secret identities as badass demon hunters, and one of the things that easily draws me into this world is the beautiful animation, just like the Spider-Verse movies, and to a certain extent, Mitchell's vs. Machines. But there's also another movie that was bought by Netflix that was supposed to be released by Blue Skies, I believe, and that is Nimona. When you look at these four films, they all have different animation styles that really sticks out. When it comes down to K-pop Demon Hunter, this movie looks like a beautiful work of art. It looks like every single frame was made with a paintbrush, and that's what immediately drew me in. Yeah, the music is fantastic, and it's really the high spot of this movie. As soon as the movie begins, you're immediately drawn into this world just by the beautiful animation, and I think that is one of the things that this movie has going for it. It's a beautiful movie to look at with a very interesting story. And when you get to know these characters, there is a lot under the surface. The way that the music is able to play throughout the entire film, and it kind of conveys a story within every single song. It just makes you want to get up and dance. And I love that it was able to balance those two things. Because if the balance wasn't working, it would have almost fell apart for me. But the fact that they were able to blend those two in there while also having a very interesting story and things that you don't really get to know about these characters until the last half of this movie. Once we are about to begin the third act of this movie, it really delves into what this movie really is about. Because even though they are friends, they all have their lives, they all have their secrets. And when you get introduced into this whole new world where they are secret demon hunters, the animation styles when it comes down to the fight choreography, it is some of the best fight choreography that I've seen in quite a while when it comes down to animated movies. Because sometimes the fight choreography in animated movies can be a little bit wonky, but when you're able to do it right and you're able to do it correctly, that is when it really sticks out. And a lot of the fight choreography in this movie for an animated film is pretty dazzling to see. The characters are really inviting, and you also have some interesting villains in here. You have the demon boy bands, which I really enjoyed when they were first introduced, and the way that they are used throughout the entire film. It does kind of create a little bit of tension when it comes down to the girl group, because they are trying to be at the top of the world. They are trying to be at the top of the charts, and then they come in and they almost steal the spotlight from them. And just seeing that camaraderie in there just made it a little bit more fun. You know if this movie is going to be for you from the very beginning, because it is overly cheesy and overly expressive. So if you're into anime, this movie is going to hit you in the right spots. And it took me a little while for me to get into it because it does come off a little bit cringy at the beginning of the film, but once you get into the flow and the rhythm of the film, it becomes a little bit natural and you're able to deal with it. But if it's not working for you in the first 5 to 10 minutes of this movie, it's probably not going to work for you the entire film. Overall, this is a movie that I was pleasantly surprised. As somebody that isn't really big on K-pop or anime, mix those two in, I think they did a really good job of having a really nice story plus some beautiful animation in here. It deals with some heavy subject matter that I thought was handled pretty well, especially for an animated film. But overall, this is a kick-ass good time. I had a really fun time with this movie. Is it a movie that I'm going to rewatch constantly? Probably not, but maybe now and then I will pop it in and maybe I'll get some more fun out of it. I really enjoyed it for what it was. It was campy, it was fun, the action is beautiful to see on screen. The beautiful animation style just draws you into this world and it makes you want to be a part of this world. The characters are so inviting that you do want to be able to hang out with them, and the music just ties everything together. It's a beautiful soundtrack that I really enjoyed. There are some wonderful heartfelt moments, and if you haven't checked it out, which by now a lot of you have probably checked it out, it's one that I would recommend you guys check out, even if you're not into anime, because I think you're going to have a pretty fun time with this movie. But those are my thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunter. Let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this movie. Is this a movie that is overhyped or just one that lives up to the hype? Drop those thoughts in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys for the next video.